Hey everybody, Scott here for the Helix channel. It's the weekend. The hell am I doing here? Well, finishing up the mix on the song that I've been working on all week in GarageBand with the Helix. And I'm going to show you my final mixing tips, things that I do with the mastering in GarageBand. It's got its own little mastering, I guess you'd call it a plugin, but it's just part of the program, and how I set it. Cleaning up the tracks. This one didn't have a fade out, so can't show you that. But I think, most of the stuff has been covered. So there's that. I used this last night and the night before for the last couple of gigs. Can't wait to start working with it with the Helix. I'm going to do that starting tomorrow. And I watched a really great video online of a guy using that little amp with the Helix in a wet, dry, wet situation. Super cool. Oh my gosh, I have to try that. I have the speakers for it, so. Anyway, shall we? All right, here we are at the computer. I finally have the song in its final, shape. I just need to clean some things up, and I'll show you what I've done. But first, the cleaning up process, and why I call it that, because let me solo these bits right here and play them. Whoopsie. Go back to the beginning. Just hear some noise leading up to where the guitar and the bass actually starts. What I do is I go right up to where the waveform starts, solo that track, hit Command T, and just do it on all those that apply, and then delete the extra bits. I'll do the same thing with these down here. Just get rid of the excess. Just trimming the fat of the song. And I'll go through and do that, because there could be little bits of noise in here, which, this bit, I'm not going to mind so much, because chances are we won't hear anything. Oh, we'll hear that. But if we just solo these bits. There's a little bit of noise. But stuff like that doesn't bother me. It doesn't need to be, squeaky clean or antiseptic or any shit like that. I just trim away the things I don't need and the obvious noises. I'll just get rid of stuff. And that's all fine. I trimmed these things for the most part already. Let's see here what's left. I did make some pretty big changes to the we come back into this section, which is basically like the intro. Sorry, I'm moving my microphone around. I don't know why I'm doing that. Let me connect it to me. What the hell's the point of a lavalier if you gotta hold it in your hand? Jeez. So yeah, just Command T, delete, same thing over here. I saved all this so that so you could watch the exciting cleanup process, because it's super fun. You just look at the waveform, make sure there's nothing that you're clipping when you do that, and all is well. That's all gone, and I changed the ending, mainly because I cut out there's that middle section where the guitar was going dee-dee-dee, 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 dee-dee-dee. I saved the chord progression in the EBO parts, and then I added some sort of heavy arpeggiation I came up with some riffs that fit over that, and added 3 tracks of it. So the tracks are, I also changed the bass. That's a pretty big part of it as well. I just overdubbed a bass part in here that's really much simpler. It just goes. And now the drums, I set them to follow that section. So it mellows it up because, and you know, this is a compositional thing, and you know, this is what a producer would tell you as well. You know, the drums and the bass were too they were too busy for the EBow to exist, and I wanted the EBow and the this arpeggiation thing to shine a little bit, and it's a bit of a departure because the first part of the song is a funky blues. Whoops, smacking into the tripod, and I added these tracks. Oh, let's clean these up first, because this is a heavy guitar sound. This is all using the everything used the Dancing Queen preset, and these 3 tracks use the lead part, and I pan them hard right, hard left, and then right up the middle. The middle one is interesting. So here's the part. And here's both. So I had to play it twice and pan them hard left and right. That's on the bridge pickup on the Crapcaster. And then I use the weird Rickenbackery kind of sound that the Crapcaster has for this track. And this one's right up the middle, and the volume is quite a bit lower, but it's super bright. It makes sense in the context of the 3, but by itself it's like, oh, that is some ice pick in the forehead kind of shit. So it can still probably come down just a hair. But along with the EBow parts and the new drums and the new bass, it's got a cool place to live where it really couldn't live before. So here's what it is now. It's still a dense mix, but it's not super busy, and then it culminates with the a little build up on the drums and the bass, and then into the drum break. Cool. I changed the ending. I went into another, basically another verse, pre-chorus section, and then I revised that ending part with this. And so all I did there was just trim a tiny little bit of each one of these from the end, and then cut away these other parts, move these over, and bam, they fit. So I did put a bit of a solo, not really a melody so much, but over the second verse. So it's got a fun solo, and you'll hear it when you hear the final mix, because I don't want to ruin anything. There still need to be some kind of surprises left. All right, so the final bit of trimming. Command T. Oh shit, I hate it when it does that. Undo, delete. So I set it to the Command T. It automatically does this, and then it'll tell you, it'll move to the right. You gotta actually tell it to go to the part you want to delete, so it's fine. One last bit of cleanup here, and then we're gonna do the mix down, the bouncing of the mix. So I set up the master already, and the master channel is down here, master track they call it. And when you look at it, it's got a compressor, it's got squeeze bright, an overall EQ for the mix, and I want to remove a little bit of the high end off the top of the mix. Compression limiter. so we stay within, you know, it's not going to clip. Also, I set my outputs to negative 3.5, and then on the master track, oh, that's a 0. I don't want that to be 0. I want that to be negative 3 as well. Too many records just push the mastering. Let's go leave a little bit further, 3.5. Push the mastering to its limit, to unity gain, and then you're ending up with a record that sounds like shit. My band did that in 1999, and it was the worst sounding record. It's unlistenable. Everything is so goddamn loud. It's just painful to the ears. And it was right around the time when, you know, mastering software was first becoming a thing, and the guy who recorded or engineered the album and mixed it just went too fucking far. And that it's unlistenable to me. So, you know, I take a cue from what do you call it? Donald Fagen's Nightfly. That was negative 12. You really got to turn up your stereo to hear that one, but you actually hear all the nuances. You don't. Nothing is pushed into your face so hard that, or into your ears so hard that it hurts. I don't go that far, but I definitely pull it back away from Unity. So that's just me. Now, next thing we do, we go to Share. Export song to disk. And I'm going to send it to the desktop. I'm going to use send out a wave, uncompressed CD, blah, blah, blah. Don't need any of this crap. Up top, it's just in the Mixmadi number 4. And then just hit export. Since you can put waves into iTunes, I just do it that way. And then it'll automatically convert it when it goes into my phone and then when I make the video. So that is that. I am going to import this and then play you the song, the finished product. Woohoo! There you go, everybody. The GarageBand tune is done. I'll be back tomorrow. Oh, geez, with another one. Oh, man, it never ends. And incorporating the EVH3, LBX2, and the Helix together. Going to work on doing some of the stuff with that. So, I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, rock on.